see your war face. You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face. Now let me see your war face.
Hail Satan!
Bullshit. You didn't convince me. Let me see your real war face.
Hail Satan!
Jesus H. Christ.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Episode 76 coming at you. Yeah!
What's up?
We're all like, yeah. Adam's like, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm still tired from your party, John.
Heck yeah, man. That was awesome.
I haven't recovered yet.
I know, that's what everybody's saying. They haven't recovered yet.
Yeah.
All the butt sex? Yeah, screw you guys.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. Drag it down, dude, because you didn't make it. Matt Paradise was here, man.
It's awesome.
I thought it was you when he walked in the door. I was like, Dorian made it. Oh, it was Matt.
Every picture
Yeah.
we try to tag him in.
I was going to say, that's going to just, if I would have showed up, it would have just made that joke even last longer.
So that's why you didn't make it.
That's why I didn't come, because Matt was going to be there, and I was like, fuck.
You sent your twin.
Exactly. I got to put this out there. I got to say this. I didn't think I had to, but I do have to. My private party I had, is not an official COS event.
Wait, are you saying that your house isn't the Church of Satan?
That's what I'm saying. And I've had Satanists here, and I've had non-Satanists here during that same weekend and talking to each other, mingling. It was definitely not an official COS event. I just had to put that out there.
Wow.
Duh.
Right.
Well,
why would
look like
anyone
you guys
think
have
that
had
it
a-
wasn't? Or that it was, but yeah. Oh, these things happen. Stranger things have happened.
Sure.
So,
You guys had a good time, though.
oh, man, I did. I really didn't think it was going to go that smoothly. We had the jankiest van in the world, though.
You could see the street in a crack in the floorboard of the van.
Get the fuck, dude! It was pretty janky though, because I didn't know. When I got the van rental thing, I realized that the price they gave me was for a certain type of van. I mean, and the other one was like triple the price, and I should have just went for the triple the price one because.
Fuck it. It got us there. It was great.
I know, but I tried at the time and everything, and he's like, "No, it's all booked up, man. You got to do that in advance."
It just adds to the story,
It was so janky. I'm surprised we
I'm not
made it back.
bitching at all about it. I appreciate everything you did. That was,
Oh,
it was
thanks,
a great
man.
party. You were an excellent host and a good driver.
We
We only
had-
scared it about 5 times.
We had a blast here, though, definitely on Friday. I mean, all the days, but Friday we had non-Satanists here and stuff like that. My professor friend that was here, Dr. Valley, he he said he had the time of his life. From me rapping outside with everybody, and it was nuts. And then I was throwing Hershey Kisses into everyone's cleavage, and that was freaking funny as hell. Until I have a wooden dick on the altar, and Jessie Twain put it in her pants and started walking around, and it was just it got out of control, man. It was freaking funny. We had a good time,
Lisa Sisson woke up the next day in her hotel room with chocolate all over the place because she didn't realize that you made a
I unwrapped some of the
shit
kisses,
all over me.
and I licked the chocolate so it got warm, and I was tossing them, and she's got really a nice endowment. She's well endowed. So it just went in there. It didn't bounce at all. It was just like right in, and everyone's like, yeah, and it was awesome. So yeah, I'm not surprised there was chocolate everywhere.
The absinthe was flowing.
Oh, that was so good. There was a lot of alcohol here, and there was a lot when everyone left. I still got a lot. You guys got to get over here and help me drink this shit.
All right, I'll be right over.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, it was great, man. And then we went. Saturday was cool. It was a freaking 3-hour ride to down to the caverns, but it was a fun time down there. The what do we call her? The cavern lady, or what is it?
Our tour guide?
Yeah, tour guide. What a good sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting up with our fucking hijinks.
Oh,
Nice.
she loved us. She said we were the best that she's had in a long time.
Yeah, we got a picture with her. She was cool. Tried to
Yeah.
invite her down to Tombstone with us, but she's like, I'm not getting in that janky van. But it was great. And what else did we do, Adam? I can't remember because it's kind of a blur.
Oh man, what did we do? We hung out. We ate a lot.
Yeah.
We toasted, hailed Satan in the middle of BJ's restaurant. And
Well, I'm glad you clarified that. The restaurant.
We held Satan in the middle of BJ's?
yeah,
Wait a minute, whoa.
and in
What
Tombstone.
kind of ritual was this?
The ritual was awesome. I got to give it hold on. I got to give a round of applause to Megan Machine for just stepping up onto the altar, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
It was fucking awesome.
She was hot.
Yeah, because there was like 6 candles around. But no, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, definitely great. So yeah, yeah, that's awesome. What'd you guys do? Or I know what Adam did. What'd you do, Dorian? Because you didn't make it.
Not a damn thing.
You went to Disneyland or Disney World again, didn't you?
No, I didn't entertain my parents.
Oh, that's right. How'd that go? What'd you guys
It
do?
sucked.
Why did it suck? What do you mean? What happened?
It didn't suck. Nothing happened. It just was, it just wasn't. I just wanted to be there.
Ah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It's all good.
Next time, man. We're just gonna come out there since you're not coming out here. We're just gonna end up going there.
Yeah, I want to see Florida, man. Have us out.
Let's do it.
Come on.
We'll
Alright.
get a party going, man. Invite us out. We'll fucking do it.
We're down for that. No problem.
We'll call it the Den of Dorian weekend, or the Dorian's party weekend. I don't know what the fuck I'm going with this. I'm tired.
That's a terrible name.
I'm
We
good.
were all talking about getting tattoos in
Yeah,
Arizona
Jim.
too. It never happened, but if you were there, it would have happened.
Right, because that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but still, come on.
It sucks because it's like I want a tattoo from every time I see Dorian, but it's kind of sucks because I want to go do things with Dorian and not sit there on a tattoo. It's weird. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a quick tattoo. I mean, I took your fucking garbage out.
you did. That was supposed to. I gave somebody, the who's in charge of that thing, and you shouldn't have done that. But thank you. The garbage it piled up quick, man.
Yeah, a lot of
Well,
balls.
it's that many people in your house. It's bound to happen.
I know. All right, Mara's giving me the let's go get some Chinese face, so I'm gonna. What's funny?
Sounds fucking weird.
What?
Let's get Chinese face. All right.
I did.
All right. Let's start the show.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Just a young Satanist, yeah.
One of the last things I accepted about Satanism was the human need for ritual. I thought that I handled my emotions and desires well enough using lesser magic, and frankly it seemed silly to me. While I had done ritual in the past, it was more to try it out. I told myself that while I enjoyed it, I didn't need ritual. What I failed to realize is that I was already ritualizing, just not in the way laid out in the Satanic Bible. In my junior year of high school, we had an assignment in my creative writing course called the Altered Book Project. Basically, we were told to take a book of novel length and change it in various ways for the project. Often this came in the form of making art on the pages or blacking out most of the words until those left created a poem. While I put almost the bare minimum on the parts of the project actually assigned, the book itself became very important to me. I channeled both cringy high school rebellion and real emotion into it. I just found my altered book and began flipping through it to find my own form of ritual contained therein. I would spend large amounts of time inking in drawings and sentences while I focused on some issue, pouring all my emotion on the issue into my work. Unbeknownst to me, that was a form of ritual. I flipped through one instance and remembered it quite clearly. On page 59, I wrote, "Why must I be so into both of you?" in big black letters. And below that I drew a heart pulling itself into two halves, snapping some stitching that had been linking the two halves. One half was labeled L, the other E. I'll put a photo of it on the Just a Young Satanist Facebook page when the episode airs. I remembered just having started to get over a bad breakup, and having feelings for two new girls. I cannot remember who L and E were, but I do remember spending a lot of time on such a crude drawing. I focused only on my desire for resolution to my indecisiveness, and my desire to be happy about that situation. I remember finishing the drawing, having come to a conclusion, and being satisfied with that conclusion. My altered book served as an effective and portable ritual chamber, and it may begin to do so again now that I have found it. It produced catharsis, and like any good ritual, it left me at peace with whatever I poured into it. So maybe that classic ritual in the Satanic Bible doesn't appeal to you, but look at your own life. I'm sure you're bound to have some rituals that just help you work through those things that maybe you're moving through the real world can't. And that's great. I know I've certainly been helped by mine, and ritual should be just what you need it to be. So make it your own. Grab a book and alter it, or write some music, or work out and focus on your goals. The point is, make your ritual work and make it personal. Outside of that, nothing else matters.
Indulgence, not compulsion. The highest plateau of human development is the awareness of the flesh. Satanism encourages its followers to indulge in their natural desires. Only by so doing can you be a completely satisfied person with no frustrations which can be harmful to yourself and others around you. Therefore, the most simplified description of the Satanic belief is indulgence instead of abstinence. People often mistake compulsion for indulgence, but there is a world of difference between the two. A compulsion is never created by indulging, but by not being able to indulge. By making something taboo, it only serves to intensify the desire. Everyone likes to do the things they have been told not to. Forbidden fruits are sweetest. Webster's Encyclopedic Dictionary defines indulgence thusly: to give oneself up to, not to restrain or oppose, to give free course to gratify by compliance, to yield to. The dictionary definition of compulsion is the act of compelling or driving by force, physical or moral, constraint of the will, compulsory, obligatory. In other words, indulgence implies choice, whereas compulsion indicates the lack of choice. When a person has no proper release for his desires, they rapidly build up and become compulsions. If everyone had a particular time and place for the purpose of periodically indulging in their personal desires without fear of embarrassment or reproach, they would be sufficiently released to lead unfrustrated lives in the everyday world. They would be free to plunge headlong into whatever undertaking they might choose, instead of going about their duties half-heartedly, their creative urges frustrated by denying their natural desires. This would apply in the majority of cases, but there will always be those who work better under pressure. Generally, those who need to endure a certain amount of hardship to produce to their full capabilities are in basically artistic vocations. More will be said later about fulfillment through self-denial. This does not mean to imply that all artists fit into this category. On the contrary, many artists are unable to produce unless their basic animal needs have been satisfied. For the most part, it is not the artist or individualist, but the average middle-class working man or woman who is lacking the proper release for their desires. It is ironic that the responsible, respectable person, the one who pays society's bills, should be the one given the least in return. It is he who must be ever conscious of his moral obligations, and who is condemned for normally indulging in his natural desires. The Satanic religion considers this a gross injustice. He who upholds his responsibilities should be most entitled to the pleasures of his choice without censure from the society he serves. Finally, a religion, Satanism, has been formed which commends and rewards those who support the society in which they live, instead of denouncing them for their human needs. From every set of principles, be it religious, political, or philosophical, some good can be extracted. Amidst the madness of the Hitlerian concept, one point stands out as a shining example of this: strength through joy. Hitler was no fool when he offered the German people happiness on a personal level to ensure their loyalty to him and peak efficiency from them. It has been clearly established that the majority of all illnesses are of a psychosomatic nature, and that psychosomatic illnesses are a direct result of frustration. It has been said that the good die young. The good, by Christian standards, do die young. It is the frustration of our natural instincts which lead to the premature deterioration of our minds and bodies. It has become very fashionable to concentrate on the betterment of the mind and spirit, and to consider giving pleasure to one's body, the very show without which the mind and spirit could not exist, to be coarse, crude, and unrefined. As of late, most people who deem themselves emancipated have left normalcy only to transcend into idiocy. By way of bending their behinds around to meet their navels, subsisting on wild and exotic diets like brown rice and tea, they feel they will arrive at a great state of spiritual development. Hogwash, says the Satanist. He would rather eat a good hearty meal, exercise his imagination, and transcend by means of physical and emotional fulfillment. It seems to the Satanist that after being harnessed with unreasonable religious demands for so many centuries, one would welcome the chance to be human for once. If anyone thinks that by denying his natural desires he can avoid mediocrity, he should examine the Eastern mystical beliefs which have been in great intellectual favor in recent years. Christianity is old hat, so those who wish to escape its fetters have turned to so-called enlightened religions, such as Buddhism. Although Christianity is certainly deserving of the criticism it has received, perhaps it has been taking more than its share of the blame. The followers of the mystical beliefs are every bit as guilty of the little humanisms as the misguided Christians. Both religions are based on trite philosophies, but the mystical religionists profess to be enlightened and emancipated from the guilt-ridden dogma which is typified by Christianity. However, the Eastern mystic is even more preoccupied than the Christian with avoiding animalistic actions that remind him he is not a saint, but merely a man. Only another form of animal, sometimes better, more often worse, than those who walk on all fours, who, because of his divine, spiritual, and intellectual development, has become the most vicious animal of all.
Okay, for episode 76, John, before we bring our guest in, I think Adam wants to share a special warm story.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's hear what Adam has to say. And,
Yeah,
Adam,
guys.
go ahead.
So,
Go ahead,
my
Adam.
house is kind of a revolving door for kids in the neighborhood. You know, I have a son who's 11, and we just constantly have kids running in and out of the house and playing. We got a basketball hoop out front, just the typical suburban house, stucco, tile roof, you know. And everybody that comes in my house, that I let into my house, is aware of who I am, because this is my lair. And if you don't respect who I am, then you're not welcome into my house. And I've never had an issue with anybody in my house. All the neighbors are aware of who I am and what I'm about, and they're all okay with their kids coming over. We have a newer neighbor down the street who I've met briefly just walking the dog. He's got a younger son, and he's a sergeant in the military. So we haven't really talked much. His son just started hanging out with the bigger kids, so his son's been playing basketball with the axe out front and coming into my house, and his parents didn't object to him coming over to my house, obviously. But I had some friends over the other night. We were all drinking beer around the table, some neighbors and a couple of friends, just a couple of dudes. And I didn't realize that this younger boy was at my house at the time. His dad came over in his full military fatigues, knocked on the door.
You owe me for one jelly donut!
Exactly. So I didn't have time to draw the curtains on my Baphomet window in my house. I have a big 3-foot stained glass Baphomet window in my living room, and I choose, you know, when to display it and when not to. I can draw the curtains. Well, didn't have time. He came in, and he had a beer with us. Didn't flinch. Didn't mention it. And when he left, my friends were like, "What the fuck? That guy didn't even flinch at any of your shit." I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know." So a couple of days went by, and he came over in his military fatigues and came in. He's like, "Hey, you got a beer?" So yeah, gave him a beer, and he started looking at Dorian's paintings, because I have the pointillism 2-part paintings that you've created on my wall in my Baphomet, and he's asking
Available
me,
at Young Satanist.
yeah. And he's pointing at Dr. LeVay. He's like, "That's Anton LeVay." And I'm surprised he knows. And, I'm like, "Yeah." And he points at Magus Gilmore. He says, "Who's this guy?" And I said, "Well, he's the current high priest." "Oh." And he's like, "So you are a Satanist?" And I said, yeah, actually, my wife and I both are. And he recited the philosophy to me without me even speaking to him about it. Being a sergeant in the military, in his full fatigues, in my living room, recited the philosophy and said, "I have no problem with my son being at your house, with your philosophy. I know what it's all about. I know that you're good people. And I've fought next to other Satanists in battle before, as a matter of fact." And I just thought that was really cool. It's neat to know that the military is aware of us, and we're prominent in the military, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you guys. I thought it was really cool.
I think
Did
it's
he
good
know
to-
Did he know the secret handshake though?
No, he didn't know the handshake. No.
I think it's good to hear about those sorts of things. We're always talking about clearing up misconceptions and all the negativity surrounding the religion. So it's good to hear things like that, positive experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. And his son's been over since then, and yeah, we've hung out and barbecued. And he wanted to come onto the show actually, but he just got deployed to South Korea. So wish him well. Yeah, I wish him well.
Well, someone else is about to get deployed, aren't they?
I know. So that got me thinking about our next guest here, and we have fellow Satanist who is about ready to leave for the army, and got me thinking. I thought we should have him on the show. So, Satanist Geoffrey Wilson, he is a business student, future soldier, living in his hometown of Rochester, New York. He writes horror novels and other genres. Yeah, under G.R. Wilson, and you can find his books at authorgrwilson.com, Amazon, and Dark Moon Press. Real interesting guy. He just enjoys weightlifting, horseback riding, enjoys life. He's a Satanist, and without further ado, I'd like to welcome Geoffrey Wilson to our studio. Come in, Geoffrey.
Hello, hello. Thank you for
What's
having
up,
me.
man? How you doing? All right.
I'm gonna let it ride
Oh.
out.
Lively audience tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
What's
very
happening,
adamant
man?
about applause.
How you doing,
Yeah.
Geoffrey?
Yeah, no, I've been good. Been pretty busy lately between like writing and like getting ready for basic and everything. A lot of paperwork to do. A lot of working out.
When do you leave
Are
for
you
basic?
about to call me an asshole?
We got another guest on here.
That's Sergeant Hartman.
Sorry. Surprise appearance.
So when do you leave for basic?
So that's gonna be in July. It's gonna be down at Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Nice when it's super hot.
Yes, perfect time of year to go to Kentucky.
Do you think I'm cute? Do you think I'm funny?
But pretty cute. I don't know, a little bit of both. But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about that. So like what I'm doing specifically, I'm doing Army ROTC. So I'm doing that to go for my my MBA in marketing. So obviously, beginning with that is going down to Fort Knox to do ROTC's version of basic camp, and then come back and start the semester in the fall.
Right on. Very cool.
Damn. So
And
what
of
made
course we
you
get
do
to-
that though? Like, what made you decide to say, "Hey, I'm going to go into the military"? Is there you got family in the military, or is it just like just you?
Yeah, so it's joining the military is something I've been thinking about for about 2 years now. I have some family tradition in the Army, which is part of why that's the branch I definitely knew I wanted to go with. So like my uncle's an Army officer. My great uncle was an Army medic in World War II. So I have some family tradition there, and a lot of it is the personal challenge of it for me. So there's multiple reasons, I guess. Part of it being just the good old-fashioned kind of patriotism. I really like the United States, and it's just an honor for me to do something where I can really pose something on the line in service to the country as a whole and what it stands for. And then also, more personally, just kind of challenging myself. So I think modern life in the United States, unless you're doing a few certain specific careers, I feel is pretty easy physically. There's not a lot of danger in most cases. So for me to voluntarily go into something where I'm going to be more physically challenged or whatnot means a lot to me. So it's that whole personal growth dynamic and the skills and all that aspect to it, if that makes sense.
Challenge
I'll be
yourself,
watching
yeah.
you.
So are you going into infantry or psyops, or what's your where are you going?
Yeah, so what I'm doing, so I'm going to be into civil affairs in the Army Reserve. So I have a civil affairs unit up here that I've interviewed with the commander of that, and I'm slated to go into that unit. I don't know if are you familiar with civil affairs within the military?
No.
Nope.
So the job of civil affairs is basically to be kind of the go-between between our military in a foreign country and then the local government of that country in different civilian aid groups. So if this was in Afghanistan, for example, civil affairs teams would be there making sure that like aid is getting distributed properly, meeting with different local police chiefs, local mayors, local tribal leaders, kind of getting them on board with the U.S. Army rather than joining the Taliban or whatever insurgency.
So you
that
convince them of the fact that it's in their good. I mean, it's in their best interest for us to take their oil. Is that what it is?
Right.
Yeah,
World
yeah,
peace.
basically.
Okay.
This is good for you guys. But it's but basically like you can kind of call it the Peace Corps with guns almost is what some people call it.
Nice.
Peace through superior firepower.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you're well spoken. I think you'll be good at that. Are you bilingual or?
I speak a bit of French. Not quite fluent. I'm at the level in French where like if I spoke more time in a French culture, I think I would be fluent pretty quick.
That'll help you in the countries we're at war with.
Well, right. I know. I mean, so there's that. Like there's a lot of
You
opportunities.
could be in Afghanistan going, oh, oui.
Yeah. Je m'appelle.
Les bons sont tes poupous. So when you're going into the basic training thing and everything, are you like going to be afraid of like what your, drill sergeant might be or act like toward you?
I mean, I've seen the I've seen the movies. I think I'm pretty well prepared. Seen.
You're the lowest form of life on Earth.
Oh man,
You're
yeah.
not even human fucking being. Do you suck dicks?
Can you put up with that?
There is no racial bigotry here. I do not look down on niggers, kikes, wops, or greasers.
Are you gonna be able to put up with that?
I think if I rewatch Full Metal Jacket enough times, I think I can kind of train myself in advance to be psychologically prepared.
Nice.
It was funny actually when I was at going through what's called MEPS, which is trying to remember what the whole, because military is like acronyms all over the place, but MEPS is like military entry processing system or site. So that's where
Syphilis?
What was that?
Syphilis?
Basically, yeah, that's the S. So it's anyway, it's the place that where like new recruits like I went to like get medically screened and everything, which was quite a process. But we had to stay overnight in a hotel, and a whole ton of the recruits were in like this lounge that they gave us, and they're watching Full Metal Jacket, and I was like, you guys really want to like, a lot of you are shipping to basic like tomorrow or next week and stuff. Like you really want to watch this movie now? It was kind of funny to me.
Nice. So tell us.
I think that'd be a little bit scary, just to watch the kind of movies where every soldier gets killed and then
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How about Hamburger Hill next?
Who's the slimy little communist shit twinkle toad cocksucker down here who just signed his own death warrant?
I love him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was just gonna say, tell us something about what got you into writing.
Yeah, good question. So it's when I was really young, like 7, 8 years old, I just kind of did some random writing on my own. I wrote a couple fables, mostly is the kind of stuff I tried to write. So I wrote one called Why Frogs Croak at Night was the story I wrote like way back in the day.
Why do they?
Yeah, why do they do that?
So this is embarrassing. I honestly don't remember. I got to reread that thing. That's way back. But
that's because they want to get laid. It's a mating call, right?
I think that's the actual reason. I don't think 8-year-old me was aware of it at the time.
Is that why they're called horny toads?
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway.
But it's
like, wow. Yeah. So are you going to be writing a story about the military after, experiencing all that?
Like as I think is that kind of life experience I think is a good source for, writing material. Mm-hmm. I think it's hard to be a really good writer if you haven't done much besides sit in a room writing, you know what I mean? It can't just be a vacuum. You got to experience things to give you the
you got to get in the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you were really into horror. Certain authors that inspired you for that?
Yeah, so Stephen King's a really big one for me. Even growing up, even before I read the books, when I was really young, I was very aware of him because my dad is from up in northern Maine. You know where like all of Stephen King's stories take place up there.
Yeah. Maine.
So my dad's from a town called Millinocket. That's pretty close to Bangor, Maine. Stephen King mentions it a lot. So anyway, growing up, Stephen King was like kind of a big part of my childhood. And he's been a big influence on me as I got into my teenage years and started reading, his novels up till now. And H.P. Lovecraft is a big horror influence as well. I've finished a big anthology I had of like all of his work. I finished that last year. Those are two of the biggest for horror for me.
Right on. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So I got to say this, just so people know. A lot of people know who you are, of course, but some will remember when I mentioned this. During the Poughkeepsie Bash,
Yes.
we had a wonderful cake, and during that, there was a cake slicing ceremony that went on, where we had the youngest member in attendance. But when I say youngest member, I don't mean age. I mean the newest member, and one of the oldest members in attendance. Both cut the cakes, and I think it was pretty cool. So people might remember you from that.
Yeah, and that was a pretty amazing experience for me, because I was youngest person there, being up there on stage with Magister Barton, and like it was just trying to think. It was a very magical moment. Like that was a pretty amazing weekend just in general, but that's one of the moments that's really stuck with me the most, was like holding that sword together. And
I would think so. Yeah.
It just being there with like that older generation, now me being much. It was amazing. Yeah. That's all there is to it.
Was that planned ahead? I mean, or is it like a last minute, like, hey,
It was
you want
impromptu, wasn't it?
I think they planned. He's Magister now, right? Magister Merciless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Magister Merciless and everyone who was involved in planning that week. I mean, they had it planned in advance. I had no idea until he said it, until he called me up. But they all planned that in advance.
Sweet.
That was good cake too.
Now I want cake. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. We all want cake.
It's someone's birthday too.
Yeah, John.
No, it's Dorian's birthday.
Oh.
Yay! Well, as we're recording anyway, once you hear this, it's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's how I'm spending it, talking to these guys.
Yeah, why are you doing that, dude? What made you want to do that?
Because nobody showed up last recording session.
Fuckers. So
Anyway.
business. You're a student, not you, Dorian. I'm talking to Geoffrey now. A student. You're in business. Tell us about that. What made you decide to do the business thing?
Yeah, so for the past year and a half until February of this year, I was working in the financial industry, actually, so doing like investments and whatnot. And that was my first real business career experience, which was all right. And I realized that I liked business a lot more than I did in my like earlier college years. So I wanted to go further with it, and going for the MBA like I'm planning on was pretty logical. So I'm going in the fall. What I'm going to be doing with ROTC is the MBA in marketing. So I really want to get into advertising and different aspects of marketing. And it's just kind of combines the creativity that I like doing with writing with more of the hard, financial business aspect of it,
Yeah. My daughter's into the marketing thing herself. That's what she's going to college for. It's awesome.
Cool.
Good stuff. So, what is this? Weightlifting. I was wondering, is it because Blanche had to help you lift the sword that you decided to go into weightlifting? Or what?
that was a real wake up call for me. I'm gonna be honest.
She's a very strong woman.
Oh yeah. That's been one of my main exercises. I go to the gym. I bring my ritual sword in there, load up some weights kind of taped to it, and just lift that sucker up and down and
dropping it on his cake.
Conan swings and stuff.
And
yeah.
He yells out, "I could do it myself! I could do it myself!"
I believe I could fly.
No, what got you into that?
Yeah.
Just sick of being tiny, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
I don't know. I'm a dude. I should be bigger. And
Yeah.
I used to be really scrawny, and I've just lifted a lot. I'm not like jacked or anything, but
Yeah.
just built some muscle over the past year and a half that I've been doing that.
Adam's been working out, man. He's getting pretty big. He's taking like steroids or something like that. I don't know what the hell he's doing. What are you doing, Adam?
Now, all my friends that have joined the military went in scrawny and came out just fucking yoked. And so I'm sure you'll do the same. They have it down to a science, how they feed you and make you sleep and all that stuff. So, yeah,
They tell you when to poop, right?
I'm sure. Isn't there a sample for that?
I don't know. I'm nowhere near this thing. There you go. Well, that's the Butler one. Sorry. What else we got? Horseback riding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so horseback riding is something that I got into when I was 18 in college. So freshman year of college, my college had up here in Rochester has an equestrian team and an equestrian club. So I decided I wanted to do that because horseback riding is this, I don't know, it's this very very old kind of sport. Mankind's been like riding horses for that, I don't know, that was a couple thousand years, thousands of years, and I thought it would be kind of like honestly kind of a badass thing to do. I like to challenge myself like that, so I started doing it and rode in shows competitively in college, and I do it occasionally now just for fun.
It hasn't been that long because I think the Earth's only 6,000 years old. I heard.
Right.
That's yeah. That's what the museum in Kentucky said.
Yeah.
So you got one book out and one coming out, right?
Two out actually, and then I got one that just my first novel came out. The other two were these like short story collections.
Okay. Cool.
So first novel came out a couple weeks ago. So very excited about that. Published by Dark Moon Press.
Very nice.
And it's kind of a supernatural thriller.
Okay, so if we search for you on that, it's under G.R. Wilson.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the name all my stuff is published under is G.R. Wilson.
Nice.
Hold on.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Is there reviews on there? You got some killer reviews going?
So few decent ones on my first two. The novel doesn't have any yet, which I'm kind of hoping some people write those more. Good ones at
Fellow
least.
Satanist read his book and review it.
Yeah, do it now.
That's what when I put my book out, which is more focused on tattooing, of course. But I would have people go, "Hey, why does it say that people that enjoyed your book also enjoyed the Satanic Bible?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know, huh? What a coincidence."
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Those recommendation things on Amazon get you.
Yep.
All linked. But yeah, that's been a big novel's been something I've been working on for the past couple of years as well, and pretty proud of it. I don't think it's the best thing I'm ever going to write, but then it also shouldn't be. So yeah.
Sure, of course.
So usually when we run out of questions, we start asking about the weather. What's the weather like in Rochester?
We do.
Is that it? Okay. So yeah, it's been really rainy. I don't know if you've seen that. Like we've been gotten flooding actually.
Rain? What's that?
Oh yeah. I know. It's like because I was thinking about that yesterday. I was joking about it that like out in California and Nevada, New Mexico and whatnot, you guys are probably like oh, too much rain. What a problem! Because it's like we're getting like Lake Ontario is literally flooding. St. Lawrence is. It's kind of a problem actually.
Wow.
I don't know. There's that.
I'm in Arizona, so it's just never raining.
Right.
California flooded like 2 months ago, but then I went to John's house last week, and John lives in Browntown. Everything is fucking brown where you live, John.
Yep, it's like a big bowl of fucking cream of wheat, dude. It is. It's crazy.
Yeah, I went to Arizona for the first time. This was 2 years ago now. It was 2015. That was April 2015, not long before the
thing,
this secret club meeting. But I went to Tucson actually. I had family down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's about 2 hours south of us.
Yeah. My cousin, she moved back up here to New York though, but she was a cop down there, so that was pretty interesting. I got to go on a ride along with her at night and everything and see what she does. It was cool.
Oh, cool. I've been to Tucson a few times. There's nothing down there. Like,
yeah,
it's old and there's nothing around. Phoenix is totally different. It's like
it wasn't the most exciting city. I mean, some of the cool stuff there, because there's a lot of the Air Force planes there, and they have the big the boneyard where they keep all the old planes.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because that's one of the highlights there as far as tourism that's around there is, right, they have this where the military keeps all of the old planes that they've like retired in this just giant fenced in field with like planes going back like probably 50, 60 years, just kind of sit out there. And it's in the desert, so there's not really rain and stuff that's going to rust them, so they stay fairly well preserved just sitting there. It's interesting.
Yeah, they can't go back that many years, because I think the Earth's only 6,000 years old, I heard.
Right, so they're not going to have planes from that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm tired. Anyway.
John, you asked the tour guide that at the caverns. That was hilarious.
I know, that was awesome. She was explaining something about the rock being, millions of years old, and I said, I got a question. How can it be millions of years old when the Earth's only 6,000 years old? I heard. Everybody's dying. It was great.
How'd she handle it?
She was great. She was a little sport, man. We tried to throw her off her game, but she's very excited about the caves.
She was almost de facto. She commented that we were like the funniest group that she's had in a long time.
And by we, she means me. No, I'm kidding. Oh, wait, that's funniest looking. I'm sorry. So let's bring it over to Satanism, though. We've got the gist on you and where you live and what the weather's like. But how'd you find Satanism? How did you happen upon that?
So this is kind of interesting, and I think kind of representative of my age, I guess, is I actually learned about Satanism like very first from Wikipedia, as lame as that is.
Oh.
And how accurate can that be?
It's a lot. Yeah, it's pretty bad because you see like LaVeyan Satanism on there, and it's like with categories of different types of Satanism, So that wasn't too good. I mean, if you look at the part actually about the Church of Satan and the page called LaVeyan Satanism, as cringy as that is, it's not too bad. Looking back now, but that's where I was just reading about like all different kinds of like alternative religions. I was reading about different mythologies and paganism, especially like a lot of like European type paganism. This was when I was like 15, 16, and stumbled across it. I thought it sounded pretty interesting. My dad actually bought a copy of the Satanic Bible for me off Amazon because that was the only place I figured I could get it at the time.
Oh, Dad.
And he's their parents are pretty cool with it. And and then I read it, and then became a member as soon as I was 18.
Nice.
Yeah.
LaVeyan Satanism. It's like saying chocolate.
Yeah.
Isn't it just chocolate?
Delicious chocolate.
Crazy. So you said your parents are pretty cool with it then. They know all about it, or did they hear about it from you? How did that transpire?
Yeah. So they've learned about it simply through me. So my dad's pretty much is an atheist and has been for most of his life, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's literally God. No, but which makes me so.
Oh man, the Son of God,
Jesus Wilson.
Jesus Christ.
Oh wait, I have.
So, yeah. So my mom.
Jesus H. Christ.
So now both my parents like are either atheist or not the most devout Christians, where they're kind of in it when they were kids because they're just socially, but then aren't really into it seriously as adults. So both of them were quite accepting about it, and have asked a lot of questions about it and whatnot. So I consider myself pretty fortunate in that regard. Because I hear about a lot of people where like their parents are completely serious Christians and not okay with it and whatnot. But
Dorian.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's an example.
Damn. How about friends? Did you tell friends about it? And hey, this is what I am, and beat my dick.
Yeah. So, I don't. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm feeling pretty positive tonight. A lot of my friends.
Bullshit! You didn't convince me.
Go ahead.
So, no, it's good. You're preparing me for July. It's good. But a lot of some of my friends know about it. I've had I don't talk about it a lot with them, but they all know. Like I usually have I wear a Sigil Baphomet medallion pretty much all the time, but I usually have it just tucked in my shirt. But most of them are aware of it, even if they don't know a lot about it. I had one recent lady friend actually that I met last year. Actually asked a lot of questions about it, and I let her borrow the Satanic Bible and then the Satanic Witch because she was interested in that. And
she never gave it back, right? People never give back books. What's up with that?
She surprisingly did. You're right, though. People usually don't. They're usually not a good thing to lend out.
Yeah, I don't lend them out.
I don't either.
Yeah. But that's interesting. She's a couple years younger than me. She's one of the kind of the first. I'm trying to think of the word I would use. I wouldn't say I don't know. One of the first people that like really asked me enthusiastically like to learn more about it because they were interested in it themselves. So that was kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about like when you're going through school and stuff like that? How about teachers and stuff? Did they act like assholes about it or no?
No, I just hit it. No one knew when I was in high school.
Damn.
So, yeah, I've never been the most, I guess, stereotypically, like, satanically dressed person. I was never into, like, heavy metal when I was a kid, so I never wore, like, those types of, like, band t-shirts and stuff, so I never really gave, I think, that sort of impression to adults when I was a kid. I've always been kind of a very, like, properly dressed young man, I guess.
Do you ever have long hair?
No, actually.
Oh.
Kind of lame, right?
Yeah.
You were not cool, man. Jeez.
Never used hairspray? Come on, dude.
I know.
Guy liner?
Guy liner. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
you do anything fun for your birthday today, Dorian?
No.
No.
But I went to the gun range. That was about it. I went to work, and then now I'm talking to you guys.
All right.
So, yeah, thrill.
That's what
Thrilling
happens when
day.
you're older. It's not as fun anymore.
Nah.
The numbers keep
all
getting
right.
higher. How old are you now, Dorian?
45, man.
45. You're hot on my ass, dude.
Yeah. John, I've been hot on your ass since I met you.
Ooh. Didn't know it was this kind of episode.
Fucking Brokeback Mountain over here.
I can't quit you, John.
I have no clue what you're talking about because I didn't watch it. I just heard
I
about
haven't seen. I can't. Sorry, Dan. I can't watch dudes kissing, so I haven't seen it yet.
it. I haven't seen it.
Did you hear? I heard. I don't know if this was just a stupid like fake news thing on Facebook, but I could have sworn I heard they're making like a female like lesbian version of that.
Sweet.
Now that I can watch.
Right. I know. I could have sworn I heard that somewhere.
Now you're talking.
Shit, I can direct that.
Why are we okay with that? Why, like, what is that?
Well, because it's easy. It's because it makes sense to us. I can I understand what a chick likes in another chick because I like that chick too.
Yeah, but is it going to be like greasy mullet style though?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I guess we don't want like I guess it depends. We want lipstick lesbians, not whiskers and mullets, and flannel shirts.
Flannel shirts.
How's it hanging, fellas? Yeah.
No offense to any listeners out there. If that's your choice, go for it.
That's fucking crazy. Jeff, have you watched Brokeback Mountain?
I actually have not.
Okay.
No.
So Adam's the only one that did then. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
1 out of 4.
Twice though. He watched it twice. That's what I was like, whoa.
What?
I watched it with a den.
Followed by Magic Mike.
XXL.
It was a double feature.
Double dong feature, huh? Where are we
You
going
guys,
with this? Yeah, go ahead,
Give
Jeff.
it
You got some
two
questions?
dicks up.
Yeah. You guys, just speaking of movies, you guys see any good movies lately?
I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so did I.
How was it?
Fucking love it, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love
Really
that
good.
shit.
Yeah, it was excellent. I think it was better than the first one, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good to hear. I liked the first one. I thought was awesome. I think that's one of the best Marvel franchises is the Guardians of the Galaxy. I got to see part 2.
What is Deadpool? Is that Marvel or no? I don't know that shit.
It is, but it's not
Yeah.
owned by the movies are what, Universal, I think, or Fox.
I think Fox.
Okay.
Did you see Logan?
I did not. No, I'm actually sick of Wolverine. Didn't they make like 9 movies about him? I'm just sick of it.
But this is the last one, so it's okay. They'll never have him again.
I watched the last one. I don't know. You know, like I didn't go see it in the movie. I usually go to a movie that's epic. You know, like something worth going to a movie and, you know, paying movie prices and buying movie candy for. And that's not one of them. I'll get it, like, you know, it's a renter. You know, I call them renters, so maybe when it comes on demand or something, I'll snag it.
Sure. You gotta save the theater times for Brokeback Mountain too. You know.
Are they making a sequel?
Yeah. Brokeback Mountain 2, the squeakquel.
It's Brokeback Mountain Goo.
Brokeback Mountain 69. The return.
And they make the Happy Meal with the extra Brokeback sauce.
So for guys that are allegedly heterosexual, we talk about gay stuff a lot, don't we?
We do, yeah.
It seems like.
That's because we're secure in our manhood.
That's right.
The show has been a sausage party for quite a few episodes. Need to break that up, don't I?
You're the one that books these people.
Yeah, now we can blame
These
you.
people.
These people. Whoa. Jeff, we're going to ask you a question. And when we ask it, we want you to answer it.
All right.
If you feel so inclined. What does Satan mean to you?
So, Satan means to me a challenge. For me, like when I look at the sigil of Baphomet and I'm looking into, the goat's eyes, for me, I'm seeing a challenge for me to fulfill the best potential of myself, just physically, ethically, skill-wise, intellectually, and live my life to the fullest and not take the easy path. So really to fulfill that best version of myself that I can foresee as it is to be, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Nice.
I like that. That's awesome.
That is definitely in our top 76 answers.
Nice.
All right, top
76.
Right on, man.
Nice. Well, I think let's close out the show, man. I'm pretty hungry, and Dorian's got to go to sleep and shit. This is exciting tonight. I don't get it. All right, then. Yeah, let's do that. Well, Jeff, we want to thank you for coming on, man. You are now a devil we know, and good luck, man. Good luck over there. And where are they stationed you at? Kazakhstan or something?
I'm I don't know yet. We'll see. But thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Oh,
It's been
absolutely.
fun.
Right on, man. Yeah. Of course.
Right on.
All right. Until next time, everyone. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.